In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to deploy Strapi on DigitalOcean app platform, along with images stored on DigitalOcean spaces. So Strapi is a content management system, CMS. You could think of it as something similar to WordPress, but without the front end. So it's just storing your content, just storing your data. And so if you look at the pricing here, you see that the cloud pricing starts at $100 a month, which I think is just not not suitable for small projects. You're paying $100 a month, $1,200 a year. It's just a bit ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use DigitalOcean to just self-host it for about 1/4 the price. So let's just get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have Node.js installed. So to make sure you have it installed, you just go to your terminal and you can run this command, node-v, and it should say the current version that you have installed. Now the second thing you need to do is make sure you have a GitHub account. So we're going to be basically pushing our code to GitHub so that it can auto deploy to DigitalOcean. So you don't need to worry about the CI/CD continuous integration, continuous deployment stuff. It will just deploy for you. And finally, you'll need a DigitalOcean account. For this, before you make an account, make sure you use a referral code you find a random referral code to click on it before you make your account, because you do get a free $200 credit for 60 days. So you don't need to pay anything, but you still need a credit card, but they won't charge you. It's just to verify that you're a human. So yeah, just find a random referral code, or I'll just put mine down below and you can just use that one. So after you create your DigitalOcean account, now I'm in the dashboard page. So just click new project here and name your project. As you're calling mine DigitalOcean Strapi example, and I guess you need to select some purpose and just click create. And then here, click this skip for now. All right, now we're done with DigitalOcean for now. So we're going to be moving on to creating the Strapi application locally first. So to do that, go to your terminal and do this command, npx create Strapi app at latest, and then your name, the name of your Strapi application. So I'll just call mine the same name, DigitalOcean Strapi example. And then finally, I'll be just using one option, which is the TypeScript option, to set the project with TypeScript. If you don't like TypeScript and just want to use JavaScript, it's fine. Just omit this option, and then just hit enter. And then, yeah, need to install this. Yes. And then here you can choose the installation type. We'll just do quick start. Now it's creating the Strapi application. All right, now it's done, and it's starting up the development server. So here it'll ask you to register an admin account. Let's just do this right now. So you don't need to just use whatever name you want. You don't need to use your real name. And then just use email. This is just for if you forget your password. You'll send the password reset email. And then after that, after you're done, just click this button. Let's start. All right, and now you're in. But this is just locally. So now we need to get this ready for production environment. Now what you want to do is open up your code editor and open up this Strapi project. So I'm using VS Code. And now, if you go to the Strapi docs, they do have a guide here that we're going to just follow for this part. So they say the first step here is creating the subdirectory. So let's go here in the config, and here you want to add a folder called environment env, and then you want to add another folder called production. And then the next step would be to copy this file and create a file called database.ts. Since I'm using TypeScript. So if you're using JavaScript, you do database.js and you copy the JavaScript code. So I'm just copying the TypeScript code, pasting here, and then just formatting this a bit. All right. And then same thing here, create a file called server.js, server.ts, and then copy this code. And now we need to install this package, the Postgres package. So go back to terminal and then do npm install pg. Now the next step is to create a repository on GitHub and upload all this code to GitHub. So we're gonna go to GitHub, and I already have this page open, and just create a new repository. So I'll be calling mine the same name as I did before. And then just click create. And then we're gonna just basically run these commands in the terminal. Okay, no, we're gonna and after that just do git add dot to add every file, and then we do the git commit, and then git branch, and then this, and then this. So now everything's pushed, so let's just refresh this page to make sure. And there you go, we pushed our code to GitHub. Now the next step is to go back to DigitalOcean and go to the project we created, and we're going to create an app here. So we want to click the create button and then select the apps option, and then here you can choose where you want to deploy your code from. So we use GitHub, and I already authenticated previously, but you'll need to basically authenticate with GitHub, basically just granted permissions. So after you do that, you're able to just select the repository, and then here just leave everything as default and make sure auto deploy is enabled. Now that we're in the resources section, you want to click edit plan here, and the first thing we're going to do is just reduce the containers to 1. In the beginning, you don't really need 2 containers. It's just later on, if you want to scale your server, you can add more containers. But in the beginning, we just use 1 container, which is good enough. And then now we need to add a resource. which is a database resource. So here, select database and then click add, and then just make sure the database name, you can just leave it as DB, and then just click create and attach. And now that should be it for resources. Now we move to environment variables. So if you go back to the guide here, if you scroll down to the which is add environment variables section, there's this green box here which we can just copy here to add the environment variables that we need, which is all of this basically. So go back to DigitalOcean, and then you want to add it to the global environment variables. So the first one. So make sure it's global, and hit edit, and there should be this bulk editor button. Just click that, and then just paste everything you copied, and click save. So it should add everything here. And click save again, and then click next. And then here you're able to just one thing is in this guide, you need to add these environment variables as well here to the your Strapi component, but we'll add it later because I found out that for some reason if you add it in now, the deployment will fail for whatever reason. So we'll just add it in later after. So just click next, and then here in the app info you're able to edit the app name. So I'll just change to whatever you like. And then here you can select which project this app belongs to. So I'll just use the one that I created, and just hit save. And then here you're able to select whatever region you want. So for me, it just auto selected Toronto. You can choose whichever region you like, and then click next. And then finally, just review everything. And you see that okay, we have a monthly cost is $19, and then just click create. So now it's trying to build, but the first build is going to fail since we didn't add the Strapi environment variables yet. So we'll do that now. So to do that, make sure you're in the settings tab here, and then select your Strapi component. And then you want to scroll down to the environments variables section here. And for the first one, this database URL, you can delete. We don't need this one. So for these environment variables, you want to add basically these ones. So app keys, API token salt, admin JWT secret, JWT secret, and finally transfer token salt. So to get the values of these, since it's unique for each project, you want to go back to the code, the Strapi code itself, and then there should be a .env file that should contain the values for the environment variables. So if you find this .env file, environment file, you're able to get these values. So just copy this. So everything after the first equal sign. So app keys here, and then we have API token salt, and then we have admin JWT secret, and we have JWT secret, which is the bottom one, and finally transfer token salt. So yeah, make sure you don't copy the first copy everything after the first equals sign. And now just click save, and it will attempt to rebuild everything and deploy everything. So this will take a few minutes. Alright, so it's finally finished deploying. So now let's see if our Strapi app works. Alright, and we see that it is running successfully, and then we do /admin. We're able to register account, So this is the same as we did locally, but now we need to do the same thing uh, in production, as this is the production server. So everything that we did locally is not saved here. So you can just copy paste all the credentials that you used before. And then just hit this button. All right, now we're in, and everything seems to be working fine. Now the next step is actually upgrading our database. So if you're just using Strapi, just want to test out Strapi or in a very small project, you don't need to do this part. You can just skip ahead to the images section where I show you how to deploy, show you how to use DigitalOcean spaces for the images. But this part is just if you want to do if your project is something that suited for production, and you are expecting good like visitors to your site or whatever, it's a good idea to just switch to a managed database, a DigitalOcean managed database for your database, since our database right now is we're using a dev database. So to do this, the first thing you need to do is modify the Strapi application, as you see here. So we need to install this, run this command in the terminal. And then we need to copy this new code here, and replace the database.ts file. And we need to replace the database.ts file with this code. Just replace everything here, save. And now let's just push everything to GitHub. Now the next step is we need to create a managed database on DigitalOcean. So to do this, go back to the project here, and there should be create. Yeah, so click the create button again and then select databases. So from here, you're able to choose a data center region. So for me, it's because Toronto is the closest to me, so I'm just choosing that. And then in this database engine, you want to select Postgres database. And then for the configuration, you can just select the $15 model. As you can see here, like you see that basically the stats here compared to the dev database is much better. Like I believe it's like 512 megabytes, and there's like 1 gigabyte for the dev database. So this is like 10 gigabytes. So you can store a lot more depending on what kind of content you want to store on Strapi. And then finally, yeah, you need to choose a name. I'll just go with the default, and then finally select the project. So change the project to the Strapi one, and that should be it. And then yeah, just hit create a database cluster. All right, so now while it's loading, you can we'll just go through these steps. So just click get started. And then, yeah, so the first one is just restricting the connections to the database. So we don't want anyone else, we don't want the public to be able to connect to this one. So only this Strapi application can connect to it. And now this one you just leave everything as a default. Just use the default, whatever is shown here is fine. And then this one is we're not migrating or anything, so you can just skip this and just hit I'm done. All right, so now we just we wait for this database to finish setting up. Now this database finally finished setting up. So now the next step is we want to attach this database to the Strapi project. So to do that, we go back here to our project and then click on the Strapi app. And here there should be this create button, this blue one. So not the green one, but the blue one down here. And then you should be able to select create/attach database. So just click that and then select previously created DigitalOcean database, and then select an existing cluster. So we should be this Postgres one that we created. And here, yeah, just select whatever option is here, and then click attach database. All right, so now we actually have two databases, so we need to delete this dev database. So click on the this dev database here, and then click destroy database, and then click destroy. All right, so you can ignore the building since the next build is going to fail as well because we need to add in new environment variables. So go back to make sure app is selected here, and then go back to app level environment variables, and you want to delete basically everything that has database in the name, in the keys, for the keys. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And we want to add two new environment variables. So the first one is database URL, and the second one is database_CA. And you also want to copy the values. And then now for the DB cluster name, you want to choose the name of you want to replace it with the name of the DB, the database that we created. So I'll just duplicate this tab, and then we go to where's the database is here, and then this is the name of the database. So it should be here. This one, you copy this and then replace just DB cluster name with that, right? And the same thing for here, just replace this part with that, and then click save. So now, if everything goes well, it should deploy again successfully. So now we just need to wait again. All right, it's deployed again. So now let's check if everything's still working properly. And yeah, it still appears to be fine. And then we just go to the admin page, which is the dashboard. Wait a sec. Okay, yeah. So we apologies for this, but you will need to create an account again. I guess since we deleted the old database, so it also deleted the account as well that we created. So we need to create a new account. So yeah, apologies for this. So yeah, you could just to make things easier later, just use the same email and passwords you did in the development environment in the very beginning. So yeah, okay, now we're in. So this part's working properly. So now the final step is just setting up DigitalOcean spaces. You may be wondering why we need DigitalOcean spaces for the images and the media and stuff, and why not just use the database that we use, like the managed database. So the reason for that is actually it's not really a good idea, good practice to store images directly in a database, because it takes up a lot of space in your database, and which would, as you see here, can lead to performance issues, and it will really use up all your storage. So what people do is they usually store the images in some storage service, which is DigitalOcean Spaces, and then what you do is you save the image URL in the database. So to do this, we're going to use a package called Strapi provider upload do. So to set this up. So the first step will be installing this package. So go back to the terminal and then run this command. Okay, and then the next step is basically editing the plugins.js file. Again, I'm using TypeScript, and there's actually no plugins.js file, so we need to create one. So just do plugins.ts, and then just copy all this code. And then, so we actually don't need these last two options. So CD and directory, you can just delete. We don't need those. So now let's just push this to GitHub again. Let's do DigitalOcean. All right, so now we actually need to create spaces. So to do this, go back to the project, click create, and then there should be a spaces option. And from here, you choose whatever data center you want, usually one that is close to the one you use for Strapi, so that they're actually, the physical distance between them is close, so the speed is faster. So just make sure you select the one that's close to the other one. So I guess there's no Toronto one. So now next step is, make sure you do not enable CDN. I tested this with enabling CDN and it doesn't work actually yet. So I'm not sure why, but it does not work. So make sure you do not enable CDN. So now just create a name for this. So, I'll use the same name, and then make sure you select the same project as, make sure you select the Strapi project here. And that should be it. As you see, it does cost additional $5 a month, but it is, the benefits it provides is worth it. So just hit create. So now so now we have created this, and now we just need to add the new environment variables. So which is should be these 4. So for the space access key and space access secret, just click through here and it will lead you to the correct page, and then you need to select spaces key. I'll put this link in the description, and then just click generate new key, and then you just give it whatever name you want. All right, so now it's generated the key as well as the secret. So now we need to go back here and go back to the project and go back to the Strapi example, the Strapi app, and then go back to settings. And then now we need to go back to app level environment variables, click click edit, and then make sure that you add these environment variables. So space access key, space secret key, space endpoint, and space bucket. So the key is this. So make sure you don't share this with anyone, or they'll be able to get access to your DigitalOcean spaces. But for this is just example, so whatever. And then for the endpoint is so it's like the base URL. So if we go back to the spaces, it should be the region. So it's not the name of the, so whatever. Okay, just copy this, and then so here copy this origin endpoint, and then paste it here, and just delete everything that is before the region. So remember, the region is I stuck in New York, so this is the region. So you don't need anything before that. And make sure like the HTTPS whatever stuff, everything is gone. So it's just like this. And then finally, the space bucket, which is the name of the space. So which is right here. So this is the name of whatever you named your space. And then finally click save. All right, and now we gotta wait again for it to deploy. So yeah, if it shows an error, it's fine. It's just from the previous deployment when we pushed the GitHub. We did not add the environment variables yet here, so it's fine. All right, so now it's done, and let's see if this actually worked. So we go to live app, and then again go to /admin. So now we need to log in with the account that you created. Let me just close all the other tabs. So just log in with the account. All right, so now we're in. So to check if the images actually works, let's just go here and just add. All right, and then now click upload asset to the library. All right, so okay, so first we see there is some issue here. The image is actually not being displayed properly. We'll fix that soon, but let's just go back to the spaces, and you see that okay, we have actually uploaded the image successfully. So you see that the image is stored in here now. You might be wondering why there's 3 different ones. It's just because Strapi stores the image in like 3 different sizes basically. So it's nothing to worry about. But this issue is definitely something that is we need to fix. So what is actually going on here is if you open up the Chrome developer tools and you go to console, we have is basically this error here. So blah 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 blah, and so you see it's a content security policy error. So basically this is an issue where basically your site here, right, this URL, it doesn't allow us to load images from our DigitalOcean spaces URL, right? So if you look here, this is where our images is stored, right? So this is the URL of our DigitalOcean spaces. and this is the image here. So it's not allowing us to basically load images from any URL. So that's why it's not being displayed here. So to fix this, we need to go back to our code. So here, we need to go to this file, middlewares.ts, and then we need to paste in this code. So I'll have this code in the description. So just highlight, we need to replace the second part. So Strapi : security, replace the entire thing with this code here. Right, so basically what this does is it allows us to load images from this DigitalOcean Spaces URL. Again, I'll have this code in the description, so all you need to do is copy and paste it and just replace the Strapi -security part with it. And now just push this code to GitHub again. And then we go back to DigitalOcean. And now it is building and deploying it again. So I'm going to just wait. So now it's done deploying, and now let's just refresh this page, and we should see that this issue is now fixed. We see that we can now the image is displayed correctly. So there you go. So now we basically set everything up correctly. So if you're new to Strapi, you'll see that in the production environment, you're actually not able to edit any of the content types or collection types. You're not able to create new collection types or components or whatever. So the reason is that you need to do this in Strapi develop. So you just need to run now you just need to run npm run develop. So it starts the Strapi server locally. So this is why I said before to just use the same credentials as your production environment, same as your development environment, because you could just reuse the same account. So yeah, so now in the development environment, you can see that we're able to edit all this stuff. And what it works is you edit it here, and then you push to GitHub, and then it will deploy in the production environment. Like if we just add a random collection type, you would in here push it to GitHub, and then after it deploys on DigitalOcean, you should see here. Again, if you want a guide on how to like a Strapi guide, just let me know in the comments or something. If you want like a Strapi guide, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this video is already quite long, so I don't want to make this video longer. So there you go. This is how to deploy Strapi on DigitalOcean apps. So in total, I think if you add everything up, the cost is like 12 plus 15 for the database. So 12 for the Strapi app, 15 for database, and 5 for spaces. So it's $32 a month. So yeah, like compared to cloud, right? So the base one is $99 a month. So it is not 1/4 the price, but it's one third the price of it.